Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to Marshall's Minute. Usually I do these on Friday, but Friday kind of got away from me, and Friday afternoon, Saturday, and this morning I was with my kiddos, and then they've returned home, so I figured I'd do this today. So this week has been an interesting little journey. If you're new to the group, new to the community, typically every Friday, I share a bit about my own journey beyond codependency into brilliance, into my experience of applying and living the things I teach. Because if you're working with someone who doesn't live what they teach, scary moment. We should be living what we teach, especially for mentors or coaches, therapists, whatever it is. Integrity would require us to live what we teach others, in my opinion. That's what partly makes us effective. Hi, Deanna. And so today I'm going to share a bit about what I have been experiencing, because we started this back in August, and there's been a trend in my life I've noticed since doing this. Then I go through kind of a pattern of facing fear, releasing it, having a big growth moment, accomplishing something new, and then returning to seeing a different place in me that also has fear. So there seems to be this cycle of addressing fear. And this week has really been about slowing down, taking time to be still, and to listen when it comes to me. Am I responding to my fear? Am I responding to an ego pressure, like you should do this, you should have that? Or am I listening to my own awareness, my own intuition or insight into the things that I am facing in my own life? Because I've got some big changes coming for me in the next couple months. I'm going to be moving from this apartment to a new one. I am bringing out the Brilliantly You 9-week Igniting Your Value, Voice, and Vision course. That's actually a pretty big change to the way I teach and to what I teach. That's not going to replace anything that's currently available to everybody, but actually it's going to fold it in together. So you'll be able to get Closure Now, which is a trauma healing system I have, and the Codependency, Confidence, Rapid Heal will all be folded into that 9-week system. So you'll have a lot of access, a lot of power there for you. And then my Brilliance Mastermind is launching next week, this coming week, where you guys can get into that. And these are big steps for me. They're challenging steps. I am scared. And I've done this for a long time. I'm still at this for 11 and a half years, and it still is a scary adventure for me. So fear is something we're going to revisit frequently. It's not something we need to eliminate. It's something we need to be prepared to move out of, really. So when it shows up, we just move out of it. We return our focus to the energy, to the outcome, and to the actions required in that outcome for us. This gets us back into this concept I teach called congruency. All of the work I do with codependency is really about connecting you guys to congruency, to the awareness of your brilliance. Because if we're trying to heal codependency without a direction, without a compass, a North Star per se, then we're going to get stuck in healing loops and therapy loops. And really, life isn't going to change all that much. We might feel better, but we're not going to experience the things we want. This got me stuck for a long time. And once I determined, what is life beyond codependency, that's where things started changing for me. And that's where I discovered a lot of the processes I teach you guys here in the community, and that you get deep training in within my systems. So this week, I've been urged repeatedly from within inside myself to be still and listen. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to change it. Don't try to control it. If there's fear, just receive it. If there's success, just receive that. But the big message was be still and listen. Just be present with yourself. This is a place where we can trust ourselves. This is a place where we can expand. And that's what I'm doing with myself, is expanding beyond my fear, beyond my preconceived limitations, my assumptions about what's possible or isn't for me personally, about how I can connect and build more effective results for you guys and for myself, because we're all in this together. This is all our adventure beyond that. It's also been really enlightening because it's exposed my thinking to myself. Like, I've got some really interesting patterns in thinking that my brain keeps coming back to, especially around adequacy, because in the discard trauma and the narcissistic abuse, we are taught to feel deeply inadequate about ourselves because we can never actually satisfy the narcissist. And we think that that's because there's something intrinsically wrong with us, that we don't have a special ability or a special talent, or if I was a different person, it would be different for me. But that's not true. Especially in narcissistic systems, the reason why we can never satisfy them is because they always move the goalpost about what satisfaction is for them, so we never actually accomplish it. And sometimes they'll throw us a little tidbit of success that's called intermittent reinforcement. And that's what really gets us hooked on the false hope that we're actually making progress, that they're actually changing, that things are going to work out for us. And that gets us stuck into a trauma bond. But anyhow, when we stop believing our inadequacy and we start realizing that our value is intrinsic, there isn't a question about it. We are valuable, period. And once we agree with that assumption, because right now it's an assumption for you unless you've come through the experience of discovering it for yourself as a fact, because you do get there with my approach. But if you start off with the assumption of I am valuable, then you can start asking the questions, what's possible now? Then you start getting experience about how that value is expressed. Guys, this is why I'm redesigning what I teach you, because when we start with value, we find our voice, then we can express our vision. We don't need codependency anymore. We have our brilliance. That's the whole point. And that's what this Be Still and Listen has really been echoing in me, is like, Marshall, tune back to the brilliance. Go back to the brilliance. Brilliance, brilliance, brilliance. Stop trying to be what other people tell you to be or what you think they want you to be. It's like, start being what you sense within your awareness through brilliance, through love, through value. So I hope this adds to your adventure in life. Let me know what it does for you. Comment below. And tell me what you get out of today's Marshall's Minute. So that's really it. About 8 minutes along today. Not a whole lot there. I'm a straight to the point kind of guy. So yeah. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the community. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. And if you're ready, you're aching, you're hungry for real change, and you want to know how to choose what you want, receive what you want, and improve on that, the Brilliance Mastermind is for you, and you're going to get that chance to join in the coming week. Hi, Caramel. Thank you for being a part of the group. You've been here for a little while, and I really appreciate your comments and contributions to the community. So remember, guys, if you're feeling lost in your life, you're wondering what to do with your world, slow down, be still and listen, and tap into that awareness that's within you, kind of like a gut instinct that inspires us to new action and gives us a different point of view that we can follow and then we can achieve. Because that's what's going on for me. That's kind of living in the brilliance component that's part of each of us. And so there you go. Okay, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys next week for our continued training on brilliance, codependency, and breaking free. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.